Hi everybody, my name's Lee Honish. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. This week we recorded for 3 hours this Sunday morning, and we've decided it's so much content that we could give you one very long episode that you can listen to off and on all week. But there's basically like 3 different sections of the show. So this is our Triple G Canelo trilogy fanboy moment, because there's a lot of stories about that, and it's mostly about Canelo like losing his shit and Triple G poking the bear. So we've decided to give you 3 episodes this week. We'll parse them out all week long. So the first thing I want to tell you, this first episode is about a quote that Canelo made that actually, I think he told TV Boxeo. He said, Triple G is a fucking asshole and I hate him, or something roughly to that effect. But you'll see it in the title or the description or whatever it is. Then in the second part, there is a whole clenbuterol rant that goes on for way too long and awkwardly, which kind of leads to the title of Eddie Reynoso should smell, and I don't know how Andrew got here. The second part is Eddie Reynoso should smell Canelo's shit, which was hilarious. And then in the third part, King Rai, who fought this past weekend, is a prospect, which might be the greatest Andrew Slam of all time. So those are your 3 parts. I'll put them out probably. You get this one, which covers Monday. Usually we try to get them out by Monday morning. So you'll have this one on Monday. I'll turn around and probably do the next one on Tuesday and the following one on Wednesday. Please share these. Please let other people know. If you want to go actually watch the video of me working with the boys and trying to put this together, you can go see it. This is going to be the same intro on the beginning of each one of these 3, but look in the title and make sure you got the right one. There will be part 1, part 2, part 3. Enjoy the trilogy of Canelo and Triple G, and we will see you guys next Sunday. Let's speed this up a little bit. Mikey Garcia on retirement. What? When did you retire? I didn't get the memo. Andrew, did you get the memo?
Nobody cares about Mikey Garcia. Unfortunately, Mikey's okay with his career, so I'm glad he's happy with his career. But there's a lot of Mikey fans that are not happy with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was so fucking hot when he first, and I don't mean physically, I mean hot as in a fighter, where his momentum was in the sport. This guy was supposed to fight Terrence Crawford. He was supposed to fight, wasn't it Manny Pacquiao?
Oh, he's rumored to fight everybody once.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they had these huge names for him. He turns down. His career goes into a shambles over there with the fucking PBC and taking him to the welterweights. It's a very, very lackluster career for a Mikey devoted fan who thought this guy was the next fucking Fernando Vargas, Oscar De La Hoya, all of those dudes out of Southern California. He turned out to be none of them. I'm glad you're happy with your career. I'm not.
Miguel, did you even know he retired?
I did, because I am one of those bitter fans that Andrew's talking about. Because I was totally expecting him to, we all held our breath for a potential fight with Lomachenko, maybe even Manny Pacquiao. These fights that he just missed out on. It's like, what the fuck? He went over to the
Crawford, bro.
Terrence Crawford, yeah. It's just like, God damn it, what happened?
And
God
he's
damn it.
just good enough to make it 12 rounds with everybody. He's a great beating bag.
I mean, he goes, and he fights. He moves up to 147, which we all knew from the jump going to 147 was a bad fucking idea. But for the payday, okay, he did it, with Spence, and he basically got schooled. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, move back down to 140 probably. He has, back when he was like a lot smaller, like at 126, he was having a hard time like keeping the weight, and there was a few times where like post weigh-ins he would puke and shit like that, right? So I kind of seems like he always had a problem with weight. So going back down to 140 after going to 147 seemed a little bit of a stretch. Okay, fine, you're gonna stay 147. He has a couple of fights there, and then he loses to this fucking the Spanish journeyman dude. It's just like, what the fuck, man? Is go back down to 140 and get your shit straight and fight some big motherfuckers, because I'm sure there's plenty of names at 140 he can fight. But once he went over to like the zone, I think it was, I forgot when he fought Jesse Vargas. And it's like he got a major payday there, right? In addition to the fight with Spence. So it's like, man, he saw those zeros, and just looking at his fucking Instagram, account, he has these like funny recorded scenes of him and some sort of like a narc or something like that. Like I forget what the hell it is, but he's got some like I don't know if he was like shooting some music video or some bullshit. But clearly, money is coming in from another angle, right? That isn't necessarily boxing. And he's like, fuck it, I'm done getting my ass handed to me. I'm gonna call it quits. It's like, dude, you can't go out like that. You fought this Spanish dude and you lost the way you did. Don't go out like that. I'm hoping, yes, I do hope that he comes back for at least one more fucking major payday and he ends up winning and he can end his career. Because yes, I am not satisfied the way he ended his career. It sucks. I hope he is. It sounds like he is, right? He says he's happy with everything he's accomplished, but come the fuck on, bro. Like, there was a lot more that you could have done.
Well, if Mikey needs suggestions, I am a marketing guy at the end of the day. Mikey, give me a call. I'm thinking OnlyFans, gay porn with midgets. Just putting it out there. There's good money in it, bro. Good money in it. Moving forward. George Foreman denies sexual allegations. Like, does his dick work at that age? Claims he is being extorted. Really? Over the past 6 months, 2 women have been trying to extort millions of dollars each from me and my family. They are falsely claiming that I sexually abused them over 45 years ago in the 70s. I adamantly and categorically deny these allegations. Somebody wrote this for you. You don't talk like this, George. Mm-hmm. The pride I take in my reputation oh my God, this was written by your lawyer. Reputation means much more to me as my sport accomplishments and my grill. You're not getting it in my grill money, bitch. And I will not be intimidated by baseless threats and lies. I am and always will be, wow, with the commas correct, impressive lawyer, guided by my faith and trust in God. Oh, you even got God in there. I will work with my lawyers to fully and truthfully expose my accusers' schemes and defend myself in court. I don't pick fights, but I don't run away from them either. All right, so for those of you who don't know the real George Foreman, and this is accounted for by everybody, and then I'll throw it over to you, Miguel. George Foreman in the 70s was a straight-up prick of a human being. And basically everybody has said, you're watching a TV version of Foreman. Like, when he's not here, this is not how he behaves. He's an asshole. He's still the same asshole. He never grew out of his assholeness, and there have been lots of reports and accounts of that. My question is, I don't want to go out on a limb. You're just playing the card that it happened in the 70s. I completely believe that version of George Foreman could have easily have assaulted women. Now, it is literally 100 years later, and they are definitely coming after your grill cash. One, I guess the question is, would you put it past George? Number 2, it's been like 40 years. I mean, why now? What'd you wait for? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he retired the first time, I think he became like an evangelist or some shit like that. And, granted, he's a man of the church, but I mean, we all know that doesn't exactly mean jack shit now. So I wouldn't put it past him if something did go down, of course. But he is nonetheless the way it should be. Innocent until proven guilty, not the other fucking way around. And how they're gonna come up with some sort of evidence from them, I just hope this doesn't become another fucking evidence? Hashtag Me Too kind of bullshit. It's like, look, do it then, don't do it now. Like I realize there's no statute of limitations on them shits, and that's kind of a problem because people, how the hell are you gonna really come up with some sort of evidence from the 70s? Like, hey, you got to prove to us that you didn't do it. Like, how the fuck does that? No, it's the way around, dumbass. Like they're making the claim, they have to prove that they did do it.
You're gonna need DNA evidence on a dress that was only manufactured in the 70s.
It's just like, what the hell? But I mean, yes, it's they should have come at him probably when his grill first exploded, not now. But I mean, at this point, I maybe they just think the guy is like running out of money and he doesn't have the kind of money to like fight necessarily, but he's got enough money to at least pay them off and keep him quiet. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I mean, really, this many fucking years later, and let's worst case scenario, let's just say it did fucking happen. What the fuck took so long? That's one of the biggest issues. What the fuck took so long?
Yeah, don't tell me. Quoted in the article.
Don't tell me you were scared.
You're talking about Ollie Foreman. Like, he had money.
Yeah.
Should have came at him right there.
Exactly. Do not tell me you were fucking scared or that nobody would have believed you. Don't give me that bullshit. Everybody would take your fucking side in a second. As soon as people, or women in particular, have these false allegations.
Mike Tyson got found guilty.
Yeah. Everybody
That's another good moment to go after the other heavyweight champ.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come the fuck on. At this point, it just seems like people are really grasping at straws here. But I hope that everything comes out, that Georgia is legit and didn't actually do this, of course, for everybody involved. And, the person who are making these fucking false claims gets some serious punishment for it. But, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. But to answer the first question, at the time, I wouldn't put it past them. Who the fuck knows?
Andrew.
Well, the family story that I have about George Foreman was when he was living in Hayward, training in Hayward, California. My grandfather took both of my uncles to go watch him. One of the younger brother, my Uncle Richard, pushed my older Uncle Junior into George Foreman as he was walking by. George gave him, I guess, a dirty look, and then took him outside and gave him a bunch of gear, pictures, and everything from his car. So very cool man, very cool story from my family's side with knowing him or meeting him. So I have nothing bad to say. I think if you look at George Foreman's career, well, yes, he looked a little moody back in the day. He turns out to be a big teddy bear. Now, I don't know if that was, after he found God or maybe just when you got to know George Foreman, he wasn't the guy that he was showing you on camera. Who really knows? This is why you should be innocent until proven guilty. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if George did it or if he didn't do it. And I'm not going to say I think he did because he should be innocent until these ladies can prove that he actually assaulted them. I am in an agreement. If, this happened in the 70s and we're in 2022.
Good Lord.
I'm sure
these ladies whipped it out on Don King and tried to get Don to pay it off. Like, I would love to hear that. No, we approached Don King and told him what was going on. What was his response?
I mean,
we're going to throw you in a trunk and take you to the desert.
Literally, I mean, do you have to have? I would love to see what evidence they can even show. Like, is there a photo showing?
We need a Monica Lewinsky dress. This requires the Lewinsky dress.
Because you would think if you're capable of just accusing someone to try to get money from them, anyone with the common last name, girl with the common last name, like your name could be Hernandez. What I mean, Garcia or something. They're like, oh yeah, you met her. I remember the Garcia girl. Like, how many Garcias these boxers meet? Or I don't know what George's name would be with the girls that he's hanging around with. I don't know who he prefers. But you understand what I'm saying. Anyone with a common name, he might be like, oh, yeah, I do remember a girl named that when it's not the same girl. So I just got to know what kind of proof that these girls have. Now, if they have fucking cameras of them on his lap and one of them looks scared and all that, well, then George might be in some trouble. You're going to have to at least go through a court case. But if they don't have anything like that, I think this is just a ransom that George said, fuck it. Or is it ransom or blue? What is when you try to...
It's not ransom.
Blackmail. There you go. I was going to say blue mail. What an asshole. Blackmail. This is going to be a blackmail situation where George said, fuck it. Take it to the public. I didn't do it.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, people have been, their lives have been destroyed by false allegations. That's the shitty part. Like, people immediately, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know if this is false or not. We don't know that yet.
Oh, I'm
but
sure.
That's
could
the problem.
completely
it's like
see
the
them
fact
approaching.
That we can, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is just people that we know that have money to defend themselves. Like, how many people haven't? There's been people that have been on the hook for fucking child support that didn't even weren't even in the person's life. Like, they put this dude's name on the birth certificate and then put them on the fucking, something that simple. It's like, goddamn, what the fuck? Like, the fact that someone's word, specifically a woman's word, just like that is taken as, like, truth is scary as shit. So I'm hoping, we saw it recently with Rollo Romero, right? Rollo Romero was accused of something. Eventually he was acquitted of everything. But that in itself totally derailed everything. He ended up fighting Tank at a later time. Thankfully, the fight happened anyway. But just look at that, how false allegations can fucking throw your life for a goddamn loop. It's really bad. I'm hoping George, if it didn't happen, I'm hoping George, comes out of this clean.
No.
There you go. Moving forward. Let's try to get this done. Cornflake Lamanna returns on August 20th in Atlantic City after battling depression. It's not about Cornflake. It's a comment about people using depression as an excuse. As somebody, I suffer from depression, if you don't know. I have taken medication in the past. I've done therapy. It's never kept me from doing shit. Like, I'm just going to be a shitbag about this. Every time somebody uses depression as the reason they're not fighting or shit's going on, I think it lowers the cause for depression. Depressed people don't do shit. I completely get it, but you can also muscle through it. That segment was brought to you by
there's a new type.
Go ahead,
There's a
Andrew.
new type of depression, though, that's also coming towards these celebrities because of social media, right? These guys are getting
it's
eaten alive.
trendy to be depressed right now.
And it's also, I think it's also, they're way too connected into social media. They're reading so much negative shit. I mean, some of these people, like, you suck, I wish you fucking died. Just the shit. You look dead in the ring when the guy hit you. Like, they're very cruel out there. And these young men are reading way too much of this shit. And maybe women too, but, I typically only follow the men's sports more. So I've seen it.
It's very grating. I mean, I spend 5 days a week going through nothing but content online for my day job, right? Like, I'll spend 4 or 5 straight days and hours and hours. And trust me, people say a lot of evil shit to me.
Look at what Khan went through when he made the one tweet about his wife and Anthony Joshua. Fucking babies coming with different faces on them. Lee Honish drilled them for fucking, I don't know, the next 10 years.
Oh, I was on that forever. That's my favorite thing ever.
No, I think depression. I think depression because of social media is a real thing right now for some of these celebrities. They're way too in trying to be
hard.
And
it takes me like 3 days of like watching mindless shit.
When you
to
have
calm
to like,
down.
you really have to grow thick skin if you're going to be in that, there. And it's
you do.
some people just can't, unfortunately, But that's just one of the circumstances of being a public figure that you're going to have to be. I mean, you're going to have realistically, if you don't have haters, clearly you're doing something wrong. You should have haters. Everybody, you can't please fucking everybody, right? So it's going to be plenty of haters. But when you pay too much attention to those and you really let them shits really get in your head, it will really fuck you up like hardcore. So I mean, if you don't have the thick skin, it's a tough position to be in when you listen to every single thing, every single negative comment that they post about you.
It's hard.
Or then how about this one too, you guys? Here you have a young man, Lamana. He's got a social. I actually have him on my Facebook account. He posts all about this fight. All of his friends and family, maybe thousands, are on his list, right? Posting, I've got a fight, big fight, gotta watch this fight, big fight, huge fight. The fight happens. He gets knocked out. What was it, the first or second round? Did you guys see the Lara loss that he took in one of his last big fight?
Super early. Yeah. It was really early. Yeah.
It was really early, and it's a bad knockout, man. It's one of those knockouts where you question if he should even be fighting again.
Because he was depressed, Andrew. You don't know me.
Lee.
Listen, you don't know me. I was depressed in that fight.
Hey, back in the day, Lee, when you promoted your fight, your friends and family didn't hear the shit every fucking day. Now with social media, he's able to share that shit every single day because his ego is way up here. Oh, I'm going to win. Every day, share. The fight happens. You almost lose your fucking head, right?
I was depressed.
Now everyone's writing bad shit about you. All you're thinking about is how many people you told to watch that fight every fucking day. No, I think that can wear on you. I really do. There is something to it. It's not
wears
just
on me. I get lots of angry, I say things that are controversial, even when I'm doing the day job.
But we're talking. All right.
And the amount of shit when you get, it's hard. It's hard.
I know.
It really is hard. But you can decompress. There are people to talk to. But coming out of a fight where you got your ass handed to you going, it was depression. What? Yeah, I didn't really have a good camp, and I just wasn't feeling it that night. Okay, bro, that's fucking bullshit. But all right. I mean, you want to send that one down the river, and that's the one you're going to... I just think it lowers the battle for depression, and I think depression is super trendy as an excuse right now. It is really trendy.
Or you can raise the bar about awareness on the social media. How about that one? You could also have the flip side.
You literally can go the other direction.
Okay.
I would totally be into Chavez Jr.
You know what I say? I've always said this. Kids should not be on social media. If you have a kid athlete, he should not be a star on social media before he's a star in whatever sport you're fucking putting him into. That's not how this
That's my baby. I don't know what you're talking about, Andrew. I couldn't get him to be a runway model, so of course I'm going to pop him on social media. I've been taking pictures of my baby since he was 2.
You know what I'm saying, though. They
should already be doing the work for Junior right now. You should be all over that.
You have fucking a champion.
How are you not letting me all over the PR for Junior already? So by the time he gets to his first fight...
Yeah, I know, right?
There's not too much hype on the fight, kid. You're just fighting at Staples. I mean, it'll be okay. What? Yeah, it'll be okay. Well, who am I fighting?
I know.
You know, that's the fun part of this. You're fighting Adrian Broner. Count Naki defeats the Helenius was a life lesson. I'm coming back stronger. Are you? Because this sounds like really stupid Polak logic. Like, you got beat by nobody, bro. I'm not saying that Helenius didn't have skill. I'm just telling you he was a nobody and it fucked your career. Pretty much straight up. You were on a fast track. Tell me I'm wrong,
This
Miguel.
is for our 10 Polak listeners that listen in Chicago.
Shout out to
Come
the
on.
Polacks. The
Karen,
last people you can make fun of and say derogatory things about and not get retweeted 12,000 times. Miguel, is this dumb Polak logic? Because he got beat by nobody.
And it was twice. So
Twice?
He did get his ass handed to him twice by Helenius.
It was a life lesson.
I mean,
And
was
I had
life
depression.
lessons. Yeah, I mean, I hope you come back stronger. Okay, cool. I'm down with that. You know, come back stronger and make sure that you become another opponent for somebody else. Call it a day. Let it go. You know, don't pull out. Don't pull out the fucking Ortiz. Like, oh yeah, I'll fight him 10 times. Yeah, that'll work. Like, no, that's not how it works, bro.
I'm gonna fight Helenius. Like,
you got your
I
ass
don't know,
handed to
3,
you
5,
twice.
10,
The second
15
time it was worse. But hey, you know what? Come back stronger. Fantastic. Try to make a name. Get back on track. Get back on the horse. Don't let those losses, deter you. And keep cracking. Fuck it. I'm down with that because he's an exciting fighter. He does put on some exciting fights. Yes, he does get his ass handed to him sometimes. But you put him on free TV, like people will watch it. As long as you know who the fuck he is, of course. But get him some exposure and put him up against another guy who lets his hands go. And he puts on a very entertaining fight. So hey, come back stronger. I'm down.
Polish heavyweight. I mean, there's got to be a draw for that. There's a community. Just rally them all. They'll fill, a couple rows of seats. That joke.
No, I literally think all the heavyweight PBC guys are gunning for the Deontay pay-per-view. I don't think there's any looking back anymore.
I think this is a great Deontay pay-per-view. Like, this is a good one.
The Helenius is a great one. The Andy Ruiz is a great one. They're all going to... Dude, the PBC fans will buy into that shit. And I think that's all Hal Heyman is telling these guys. Like, stick around. And if you win, I'll try to get you on pay-per-view with Deontay Wilder.
Listen, Andrew, your king is back. Can you see the first knockout? I can already see the first words coming out of his pie hole while he's got that stupid robe and crown on his head.
Wait, he's back for the PBC. He's back to the PBC. That's all Deontay is. He's not fighting Usyk soon. He's not fighting Joshua or Fury soon.
He shouldn't fight him ever. He should just knock people out and collect paychecks.
No, I would definitely watch him and Joshua. There's nothing wrong with that fight. Yes, it's not what it used to be, but there's still 6'7" athletes that are going to knock each other's heads off. I'm all in. I'm all in on watching that one. But no, all that bullshit is over with. He is a PBC fighter.
By the way, Deontay, call me and I'll write your script before you win, because you're going to win your first fight back. You will. Don't worry, Daddy Al will take care of it. Miguel, Kaunaki. Oh, we did this. We already did this.
Yeah, we already did this.
All right, we're ahead. I got lost in Andrew. That hot take by Andrew was brought to you by Clan Buterol. Deontay Wilder's manager rules out Chisora. Aww. He's really eyeing I don't buy that shit at all. Like, Shelly Finkel's lost his fucking mind. Like, Shelly Finkel just wants to cash in. If he sticks him directly into the ring with those two guys right out of the gate, he's insane. He should take a Derek Chisora. So Finkel said, Derek Chisora, he just edged a split decision over Kubrat Pulev. No way. Maybe the winner of Usyk Joshua. I don't know what Fury is doing. There you go. He's still doing ayahuasca. Maybe if Joshua wins, it's a huge fight in the UK between those two. There's so many intangibles, so politically correct. Who's Deontay going to fight, Andrew?
Yeah, if you listen to Coppinger, is that how you say his name?
Coppinger. Yeah.
He said this week Robert Helenius is going to be the opponent for Deontay Wilder's comeback. It's a good opponent. The guy has 2 solid wins on PBC pay-per-views. I believe one of them might even be on the undercard of Deontay's fight. So all Deontay's fans in the PBC already know Helenius. Big white guy, 6'7" himself, Viking tattoos, good record.
People love it. A black dude knocking out a very white dude. That'll sell.
Not only that, because of the Tyson Fury thing, right? They can also say that it's his comeback to go after Tyson Fury. Look, the dude's 6'7" himself. The guy's big. The skin complexion is just similar to Tyson Fury. He's big. He's white. Good record. They can make it look like Deontay's coming back for Fury. That's all I mean by that.
Miguel.
Well, there's no guarantee that the Wilder is even going to win. So, it kind of throws that up there in the air. It puts him up against Helenius isn't necessarily the white hype sort of, or white hope sort of dude,
I'm going to correct that at the end of the segment. I actually figured out his marketing. Got it. I got it covered.
He can throw it down, he's got some hands, and whether or not he can take Deontay's punches is another story. Of course, that remains to be seen. But that's a great comeback fight for Deontay. It's a guy who looks, especially if he comes out victorious, he got himself another big motherfucker, big white motherfucker that he's got in front of him that's got it tatted up, and he knocks him out. If Wilder's able to do that, that's going to be a great comeback thing, and that puts him right back into the spot as far as like the potential winner of or a potential fight with the winner of Usyk and Joshua, because I don't know if he's going to cut in line. If let's say Usyk ends up winning and, he decides that he wants to fight Fury, I certainly don't think that Wilder's going to cut in line and get to the winner of that fight before Fury does, if Fury wants it. But nonetheless, why not the loser of the other fight? Let's say whoever loses between Usyk and Joshua, why not go after that? That's still pretty marketable. That's still pretty reasonable, especially if he ends up winning this fight with Helenius here. So for Helenius, it's an opportunity to make himself a fucking superstar. Nobody really knows who he is as far as like the general public, the casual fans. He ends up beating somebody like Wilder. People are going to know who the fuck he is, and that puts him in a spot to maybe face a big name in the weight class, besides Wilder, of course. So it's a good fight. We don't know if this isn't like a 100% for Wilder. Yes, he's going to be the favorite, of course, but this is again one of those fights that we really legitimately don't know who's going to win. Yes, Wilder is going to be the favorite, but hey, we can't. What does Bob say? Don't count out.
Don't sleep on Helenius.
Yeah, don't sleep on Helenius. That's what I meant.
I might sign him to a contract.
I'm gonna say it like this: if you go up against the PBC versus outside fighters record, when they fight people out of the PBC, Helenius should be the fucking favorite. They have like 19 out of 20 something victories going to the guys that are not from the PBC. So the PBC has a bad record going up against guys that aren't already signed with Al Heyman. Helenius is one of those guys. He barely came to the PBC the Kalinowski fights. He was a top ranked prospect before then. Very interested in this. Now, I want to also say this. Fight Net Radio has always tried to give Deontay Wilder the best financial advice that we can think of. He's never listened to us, and he's left a lot of money on the table. My last motherfucking advice for this guy, if he's listening, if your next two fights aren't on pay-per-view against Robert Helenius and then Andy fucking Ruiz, Al Heyman has screwed you big time, literally, because both of these fights should secure Deontay Wilder's future in retirement. The Helenius fight, he is going to do good on just because his name is still hot with the PBC. But if Andy Ruiz can get a victory, and in my mistake, Ruiz is fighting Ortiz, correct?
Yes. That's as far as we know, he's fighting Ortiz next.
That's the current one in the hot.
All right. If he beats Ortiz and looks good, and these two do not fight on pay-per-view, what is Al Heyman really doing, man? Because this fight, this Andy Ruiz versus Wilder is a good heavyweight matchup that deserves to be made. And Deontay, don't look at Usyk. Don't look at Joshua. If he loses again to Usyk, is there really $20 million to be made for both guys? These guys are going to be wanting so much money, both of them. I don't know if that fight can get done if Joshua is coming off another loss.
I would safely say this. If Usyk wins that fight, he's going to go full Klitschko and never leave Europe and just keep collecting paychecks.
Yeah, no, I don't see Usyk. We were talking about the loser of the fight, and I just think if Joshua loses,
he's out of boxing. He's done. It's way
so,
back of the line for him.
Yes, and so I think it's Wilder Ruiz should be the fight that's made here through the PBC.
As I said earlier, if you are people connected with Helenius, let me give you some marketing pointers that will secure a much bigger payday for you. Number one, the next clan rally that comes up, you should just send out a release going, they're just a bunch of misguided guys, but they've got a good heart. That's number one. Number two, make boxing great. Red hats. I'm just telling you where to go with it. And number three, start talking about critical race theory being taught in American schools. That seems to be the 3 bullet points that will get all of white America right behind you, especially those in Florida. You enjoyed that.
I will say, I think Miguel set it off with the biggest, what could become the biggest rivalry in boxing if Triple G walked into the next press conference with a no clenbuterol, no diet. That was fucking awesome. That he should do. Because
No,
he
what
already
it should say is, wait, again, marketing guy, clenbuterol, not Mexican
Come on,
style.
man.
He's already, fucking waist deep into that shit. Just do it, bro. Just
Do
fucking
it.
do it.
That's
But
right.
go all
Nice.
the way in. If you're going to do it, go all the way in on the topic.
Could you imagine Canelo? Canelo would be like, you motherfucker.
If I was Canelo, I'd have to hit him at the press conference and say face. I would have to. I got to throw a real punch at the press
That
conference.
would throw him off his game so much. It would get in his head so fucking much.
Oh my God, I'd have a different clenbuterol. Like I would rip off all the logo, like the slogans. Clenbuterol, it's what's in breakfast. Like I would do, like I'd have a different T-shirt for every press conference every time. I would train in different clenbuterol T-shirts.
The Nike just do it.
Just do it. Clenbuterol. Just do it.
Yes.
All right, because you've demanded him, and apparently there wasn't much Bob this week, welcome to the De La Hoya suite. Just before we wind up and wrap up this show, De La Hoya was very busy, especially when Ramirez got named to B-Fall. And here are some lovely select quotes from De La Hoya to TV Boxeo. Tommy Hearns is not Bivall's promoter. I'm working with Bivall's manager, who is still the dude from the MTK, by the way, Vadim Kornilov. They just don't call it the MTK. Like, they're fucking Russian mafia, dude. Like, what's up? The fight is going to be negotiated. It's going to be done. I am excited that Zurdo Ramirez finally has a chance, the one that he's been waiting for, and he is more than ready to beat Bivol and gain revenge. Also that week, he had a chance to talk about Ryan Garcia. A lot, because he made rounds. And this is what he had to say on Ryan Garcia. I mean, look, first thing is first. What? First thing is... what?
Huh?
What did you just say? Like, wouldn't there be a needle that's scratching your head if Oscar went, like, full... Why is it that it's, like, more formal when we're talking about Bivol and Ramirez? Now, Oscar caught on the moment. Look, first thing is first. What did you say, Oscar? First thing is first. You heard me. Like I said. What a dick. Fortuna's a very dangerous opponent. We're going to talk about it in a minute. And no, he wasn't. I just couldn't let first thing is first go of De La Hoya quotes. That's bravo. Mario! And he talked a little bit more about Canelo and how he's official. Like, if Canelo fights Bivol again, it will be worse. That's the bottom line. My exes don't listen. They're stupid bitches. Styles make fights.
I told him not to go over there.
I told him not to go over there.
Not to date that guy.
Not to date that guy. Tommy Hearns doesn't love you like me. But if you're going to go get your ass handed to you, you go do it again, bro. You're going to get beat worse the next time. All right, Andrew. Oscar crawled out of his bar long enough to make a bunch of quotes. What do you think about his takes are on Garcia and Canelo and Bivol?
Well, Ramirez, I think he's right on with that one. I do like how he threw out there about getting the revenge. That's part of the connection that he needs to bring between it. Listen, you really want to sell
Andrew,
the
first thing is first.
You really want to sell the Ramirez fight? When he beats Bivol, when he beats Bivol, he's going to show the Mexicans who the real Mexican is coming out of the country. That's it. That is going to blow that fight right out the fucking water. And then Ramirez can follow up with, I've always been more Mexican than you, Canelo. Let's prove it. And boom, that fight sells. It's 1 million fucking pay-per-views. It doesn't even need another country involved. I'm dead serious. So they have that connection there. It's a huge fight that I know Canelo's trying to fucking avoid because of the circumstances, but whatever. I like that one. Going on to Ryan. Ryan proved who he was. We'll end the show with that.
We're going to end on him in just a second, yep.
Yeah. And then the last one, Canelo, he's absolutely right. It might be easier the second time. Bivol knows he could take Canelo's punch. Canelo didn't look out of shape. He didn't look old. He was landing combinations. He was landing counter shots. I remember a right hand that made Bivol's head turn all the way around. Nothing hurt him. Nothing stopped him. He kept taking it. He came forward, and he kept hitting you. That doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the confidence level of B-Ball goes up. He probably beats you easier the next time.
Miguel?
It probably most likely I'd say. I don't want to like harp on the fact that that Canelo went vegan for that fucking fight, but that we can't forget that could be one of the reasons why he seemed weaker, why the punches didn't do as much as we expected, right? Okay. It may very well be that. It may, because generally he is flat-footed anyway. That's kind of the way he is anyway. But the power, the reason, one of the reasons he's flat-footed is he can generate so much fucking power that way, right? Than being on your toes. So I would not be surprised if Canelo does go with a different, incorporates me back into his fucking diet. Yes?
You're absolutely fucking right. I just want, before I let you go on, you need to get a hold of somebody to ask that question. That is a brilliant question. That question should have been asked in the first press conference. That should be the title of somebody's story. Are you fucking vegan anymore? That's awesome. Keep going, Miguel.
Well, thank you. So, like, I think that's one of the things that we can't forget in the rematch, because that is one of the things that could potentially be different. Yes, Bivol most likely will come into that rematch with more confidence, knowing that, yeah, I handled this motherfucker the first time, and chances are maybe I can even stop him the second time. But that is going to be maybe a different Canelo. I mean, we saw, Canelo in his rematch with this fight.
I think there's also a thing that I noticed about that fight going back. Body by clenbuterol, body without clenbuterol. Like, I really just think he overlooked Bivol. He didn't go through his normal training or physical regimens. Like,
yeah.
I'm healthy now. I'm a vegan. Now, you look skinny fat, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
And here's the thing, like, we don't know if that's the case. We're not going to 100% say that exactly is what happened, but that is one of the variables, right? That's what happens in an experiment. You change a fucking variable and whatnot, and we see the end result. So it could be that maybe, this is kind of maybe a little bit of a stretch, but maybe this time Bivol comes in a little bit too confident, and Canelo comes in a way better fucking physical shape, and, incorporating me back into his diet, and we get ourselves a different result at the rematch. Because we did see a different Canelo in the rematch with Triple G. So, hey, you know what? You have to learn, right? That's just how it is. You fucking fight somebody, it doesn't go the way you want it. You get a rematch, boom, you get better at it. So, maybe we'll see that.
Miguel, indoor. Is there any press conferences coming to Vegas?
Most likely. I mean,
likely it will be. We can get him
Miguel, in. The way you said that about the that's how science projects are done. You got to remove variables.
Yeah.
You need to pitch that to Canelo and them to see if they're doing that. If they're actually going back to their first diet, what they used to do, because that is going to tell a lot going into the rematch. That is good advice or a good piece of knowledge to have going into the rematch with Bivol. If they go back to steak, and I just mean not vegan. I don't mean
right. Incorporate back into the diet.
Yeah. If they do that and he knocks out Triple G or looks, got the six pack, everything looks good again. Oh yeah, that rematch is way more.
And trust me, that body will be powered by clenbuterol. Oh my God! Please, Triple G, call me. I've got 1 million of those things you can do. Oh.
Yeah, but we will put.
I lost weight on clenbuterol. These are my pants from like 6 years ago. Hi, my name is Triple G. Many of you know me from molesting lots of small children and then being thrown out as a famous sports. Oh my God, I would do all of it. It would be great. Oh my God, it would be great. Like, and by the way, yes, I was making fun of the guy from Subway, not Triple G's actually a really nice guy.
Jared from Subway.
Jared.
Can we get Jared as our spokesman from jail? I'm just thinking outside the box. And by the way, yes, I feel I should do a GoFundMe for Jared to be, just for the stupid ads, bro. Like, how could you not hold your
Jared
shit together
found guilty of doing
money?
some shit with chicks too? I don't know if you want to have him as our spokesperson.
I don't know.
Yeah, just leave Jared alone.
It seems very much us.
Yeah.
Joseph Parker is taking on Otto Wallen for
shank. Are you going to GoFundMe to shank that motherfucker? That's the only GoFundMe.
No, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shank him.
Okay, makes
He
sense.
gets on the shank list. We'll add him to the list. Otto Wallen is taking on Joseph Parker in the battle of Who Cares. This is our newest recurring segment of Who Cares. These are one-word answers, but you never know. Andrew might go off. It happens. Andrew, do you care?
Oh, was that for me?
No, it's a big ass. Are you asking me?
Yeah, Andrew, do you care?
No.
No, Andrew, do you care?
No.
Okay.
No, I can't even go into it. I hope
No,
Joseph...
you don't have to. That's why we don't even have to discuss it. They're irrelevant people. Miguel, do you care?
Unfortunately, I don't. No, I don't.
Strangely, I'm the only one who does, just so I can go to a press conference and rub Otto Wallen's nose in it some more. Cool, dude. You were in an old Yeller match at your age. Congratulations. You are definitely a legit heavyweight. In the battle of who cares? Haney on Camboso's rematch. You got to do the right thing by me. What? Haney thinks he's still the A-side? Andrew, do you care?
What? He is?
Yes. Listen, what I'm a little suspect on, and Miguel, I think you brought this up about Haney not wanting to go back out there.
No, he believes he's the A-side. Like, if I'm going to drag my ass by blimp all the way back out there.
But what I don't like is he signed a contract that says the rematch was supposed to go out there, Lee. So let's be an honorable man.
Or get AIDS, or the COVID. Just remember, that's in play.
I don't like how it doesn't seem like he's going back to Australia.
Haney's going to get the COVID. Haney's going to get the AIDS. I don't think he wants this fight. I think he got beat, legit. Tell me I'm wrong. Do you care, Miguel?
I do, because I mean, I would love to see them have a rematch, and whether or not it happens. Well, whether or not it happens over there or not is another story, of course. But even last night, he was briefly interviewed on the Garcia fight, and he was like right off the bat, he was like, well, because I don't know if it was Mannix or who the one that was interviewing him at the time, but he was talking about he has Camboso's next, and like the first thing out of his mouth is like, well, we don't know if Camboso's is actually next or not. It's like, what the fuck you mean you don't know? Like I thought that was the plan.
Yeah.
But and so already putting hurdles up there. I don't know if he meant like the fight in general or specifically going back out there to Australia to fight him again over there. I don't know because I'm not sure what the contract specifically said, if it just said rematch period or rematch in Australia. So nonetheless, yes, I do care about this one. I want to see this fight again. Fuck it. If it's in the contract that Cambosos get a rematch, give him his fucking rematch. Unfortunately, Lomachenko didn't get his rematch against Teofimo. I know it wasn't in the contract. I get it, but still, I would have loved to see a rematch of that one. Let's see a rematch of this one. I'm down to see if there's anything different.
All right. We're getting to this weekend's fights, but don't forget, we're still in who cares mode. Oscar Collazo outpoints ex-champion Victor Saludar. Did I get it right? Saludar?
Yes, Saludar. Yes.
Saludar.
Hit the Teddy Atlas button. I take dumps.
Well, first question. Wait, hold on. The first question here is this Luis Collazo's kid? Is this Luis Collazo? It's a different Collazo.
Well, it's a different Collazo, but I don't know if they're related. I mean, that's not exactly a very
and that's the
common
only
last
reason
name.
I pulled the story. I don't really care otherwise.
I don't give a shit.
I don't know Saludar from a hole in the head, and it's an eliminator. Andrew,
105ers, good lord.
Maybe it's his dump. I don't know.
Andrew, do you care?
He names his shits.
He shit at Oscar Collazo. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You should. You should just say that Louis Collazo, you're like related. At least you got a connection there. Lamont Roach. Do you care? Like, I don't care who he fought. Like, I didn't even know the dude was still in boxing. Like, this was the most shocking thing when I was pulling. What? Weren't you irrelevant at one point? I mean,
that's a lot of the
Like, what happened to this dude? Like, it's shocking. And by the way, Oscar, shame on you for dragging out Lamont Roach and putting him on like your label. I mean, like, you're just looking for anybody. Lamont Roach. Miguel, do you care?
It's a 130-pound division. To some degree, I do care. Now we still have Shakur Stevenson at that weight class, so fucking why not?
Don't sleep on Lamont Roach.
We started having, when we started putting a little bit more, spotlight on potential opponents for top guys like Shakur at 130 and anybody else for that matter. Why not? Yes. I watched the fight. It was a bit of a snooze fest, to be honest. It was like one-sided, so it wasn't exactly the most entertaining fight. I'm not sure if it really did anything for Lamont Roach other than, of course, getting the victory under his belt. But I cared about this one. Yeah, sure I did.
Miguel, do you? I mean, Andrew, do you care?
I'll piggyback. I'll just go with what Miguel said. It's a light division. He has a decent record. He needs better opposition on his resume before taking him. Like Jamal Herring, he lost a unanimous decision to Herring. He goes on to fight a bunch of nobodies. Angel Rodriguez being the best record he's faced so far since the Herring defeat. But Angel Rodriguez really still not the biggest opponent at 130 either. So definitely needs more Roach.
Like Oscar's just getting fodder for his cannons. Like this is someone you can feed to later on. That's all he is.
Most likely, yes. That's
And I don't think
most
Lamont
likely.
Roach sees it that way, but dude, you went to the elite level and you fucking, you struck out. I don't want to break it to you. You did. I mean, you did.
Well,
I
he's
just thought
got to
that
have
that would
another
be
time
the
at
end of
bat,
it.
man. He's got to have another time at bat. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. How? Never mind. I could get into a whole thing like just basing that on UFC guys who like get 1 or 2 shots and get beat 1 or 2 times and then go literally to the back of the line in the UFC. It's the one thing I don't disagree with the way Dana handles business. Well, it's not really him, but this takes us to our main event of the evening. Hello, everybody. This is Mauro Ranallo. I know I'm on the wrong network. But it's the only impersonation I do that I'm very happy with. I don't like Bob all that much. Oscar De La Hoya is just a running joke that makes me smile because I'm not really doing Oscar De La Hoya. With that said, this is Oscar's hot girlfriend. Look at him, kids. This is Oscar's boyfriend. He will be fighting Canelo at some point if you think I'm crazy. Oscar will work it out.
No, he has a bunch of girlfriends though. You can't forget about Ramirez.
He loves him some Rai.
He's got Ramirez,
Rai.
he's got Ortiz, and he's got Garcia.
Ooh.
He's not hurt for prospects. I don't know if he has stars, but he's
Ryan
definitely
Garcia
not
still
hurt
a
for
prospect,
prospects.
Andrew? In your mind?
Who?
Is
Who?
Ryan Garcia a prospect?
Yes, because he hasn't made it to the elite level. We're talking prospects of the face of boxing here. I'm not talking prospects. For the next guy
I
to
agree
hold
with
the
you.
belt. Yeah,
but
we're
in
talking
Ryan's
about the
mind,
face
he
of
should already be
boxing.
on the pound for pound
Right
list.
now, Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, and Gilberto Ramirez are still in those categories as someone who could take over the pay-per-view for the Mexican community, either here in America, in Mexico, wherever. These guys, Virgil's from Texas, man. He starts selling out this fucking Dallas Stadium. Trust me, Oscar's not hurting for money.
I'm telling you, Ryan Garcia
Ramirez
is invited to Oscar's house for spoon parties and women, okay?
And Ryan Garcia possibly could be the face of the whole fucking thing.
Well,
He
I
really
think Goosen can humble him and put him in that position. I mean,
Did you see how packed LA looked? And for a guy who hasn't really fought in anyone, De La Hoya is doing a good job of packing that house over there in LA.
he's done really well with Anaheim and LA. He has. He's between the Forum, which is one venue that nobody's really using because it's independent, and the MSG group, which probably means they're tied into Bob and why nobody fights there. But you can get the Crypto Arena, formerly Staples, and he's done really well with Anaheim. I mean, really well with shit cards. Like, you got these guys fighting nobodies, and you're selling out Anaheim. That's strong, dude. It's where the Ducks play. That's the real deal. I mean, he's done a great job. He's definitely coming over for a spoon party and strippers. I mean, no doubt. Ryan's on his hot list. Miguel, do you care that he beat Javier Fortuna? I mean, it wasn't a real test. I'm kind of with Andrew. But that's a strong sentence, Andrew. Like, I'm debating if that isn't the title of the show. Ryan Garcia is still a prospect. Oh, what a show title. That'll piss people off. Ooh, I'm liking that title. Although Reynoso go smell Canelo shit. It's going to be a tough one for me this week when I'm doing the graphics. Miguel, do you care?
Well, yes. In regards to pissing people off, a couple of things. Number one, I don't like the fact that the fucking Staples Center is now called, crypto.com bullshit, right? Furthermore, the Great Western Forum, a side note, is now called the Kia Forum. Like, what the fuck is going on? Those are some killer ass iconic, the Forum places.
You don't like Dignity Healthcare
I don't
Mental
like
Facility Health Park?
I mean, that has been named. I'm talking about iconic fucking places like Staples.
Actually,
and
that area, like between where the Galaxy plays and that, like when it first opened, it was going to be iconic, and then you like fucking hoarded out to Dignity Healthcare Mental.
Yeah,
like what
it was everything. It was Home Depot Center. It was StubHub Center.
Home Depot Center worked. StubHub worked.
It had everything.
That's iconic. Thing. That's got some meat on it.
Yeah. So about this fight, I think it's time to give Ryan his credit. He fought a dude who was a former champion. Yes, he was like way the fuck smaller. I believe the fight was supposed to happen earlier, and some bullshit happened to where they ended up rescheduling for last night. And Fortuna wasn't liking the fact that it was going to be at 135, so he decided to make it at 140, and they all agreed to it. That, as my understanding of it. And Ryan Garcia comes in at 140, and he feels better than ever. So we gotta give props to where he's at. No, his fights with Reynoso, Garcia, they were all knockouts basically. He had like 5 fights with the Reynosos, and he knocked everybody out. His first fight with Goosen, it goes the fucking distance. It's like, oh shit, this is already not looking good. And then this is his second fight with Goosen, and he fucking kills Fortuna.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say Fortuna. So
Fondura.
like he whoops his ass. Yes, he did look way the fuck bigger. He looked taller. He was probably heavier in the ring. So he's basically fighting an overmatched guy as far as size goes.
He was
but
a weight class smaller. It's a very
Wait
classic
a minute.
move. They've done this a lot with Ryan.
Fortuna is the guy that lost his title because he missed the 135 division against Robert Easter. So we can't forget that he missed weight at 135. He only went to 140. It's not like, he's at welterweight now. So yeah, there's a little bit that Ryan could be like, come on, man. The guy was in a championship fight and didn't make weight. Maybe he can't make that weight anymore.
Yeah, maybe. But even more of a reason, I think we should give Garcia his props. He fought himself a former champion, and he fucking took him out, and he looked sharp as fuck right off the bat. The pop and the snap and the jabs that he was landing, dude. Those lead right hands that he was landing on fucking Fortuna were clean as shit. Yes, he still has that habit of closing his eyes when he throws punches for some goddamn reason, but regardless, he fucking was looking sharp as all hell. I was digging it. I was like, okay, this is kind of different. Like, there was a bit of a shift. It felt different. Seeing the way he came out right off the bat, landing those jabs, hearing how snappy they were. I mean, shit, I don't think anybody who was in front of him would have fucking beat him that night. Like last night, he looked good. And yes, he did fight a guy who was shorter.
Andrew
yes, he is. He's still a prospect. I'm not saying he's not, but I think it's legitimately time that if and I'll be the number one.
Level. I think you can take him one full
hater.
Yeah. Up, right? Somebody in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm a major Garcia hater. I totally am. I think this fucker was like brought up, and I'm not crazy about the development of his career as far as opposition goes.
I got a big social media following, bro. That's why I'm here.
Right. So I gotta give him.
I know Jake Paul.
He looked fucking great.
Do you know yesterday. I know Jake Paul?
Calm down.
One thing I did not like, I will say. One thing I will say, the fact that he was calling out, what's his name, Gervonta Davis, right, which I did like, but he immediately said, I'm never going back to 135. I'm going to stay at 140 from here on out. I was like, wait a second. Okay, now he's going to try to call him out at 140. What the fuck? Okay, if the fight happens at 140, so be it. I still want to see it. But now I'm a little like, what the hell? I thought this fight was supposed to take place at 135. Again, we're not talking about that much of a difference. It is 5 pounds. There's only one weight class, not 2 or 3 weight classes above or anything like that. So the fight can still be made. I was hoping it would still take place at 135, but maybe in the larger picture, that's pretty irrelevant. As long as the fight actually does happen, nonetheless, I'm down with that. I'm doing cool with that. So I liked his attitude. Yes, I kind of didn't like the whole at the very end of the post-fight interview in the ring, talking about Lord Savior Jesus Christ, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, okay, I get it, bro. I get it. Keep it low key. I'm saying you don't have to go all full George Foreman on us and everything, whatnot, right? But nonetheless, yes, I do care. Yes, it was a pretty significant win. It's time to give him his props, and I'm salivating at potential fight with fucking Tank. Hell yeah.
I will say this for the crowd. My optic eye watching the thing that I have noticed that's most interesting is the growth of Goosen. Goosen is a guy who doesn't believe in going for knockouts. He believes in good mechanics and a lot of punches. That's the Goosen style. There is not a Goosen fighter you could say doesn't follow that format. You're going to go in, you're going to outwork, you're going to throw a lot of punches. That's how you win a match. With Ryan, he's aggressive. He is being more aggressive with his advice, and that's an interesting growth in Goosen. He still dresses like shit when he goes to the ring. He looks like a mafia guy. I don't know what that look is that you've been doing for the last 20 years. I don't dig it. And I'm going to think outside of the box for Oscar to make a payday on Ryan for the next fight. Hear me out. Exhibition, Ryan Garcia, Jake Paul. Take the payday, bro. He's going to beat him. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it.
It's an exhibition. There's no win. There's
It's supposed to be an exhibition.
And where Ryan's at, he don't need those fights. Ryan, we just said Ryan's potential of taking over boxing. Those guys make $20 million a fight. He doesn't need Jake Paul. Jake Paul would need Ryan Garcia.
He's got to keep it in his pants. All right, he's kept it in his pants,
and now that can get paid off too. I ain't even worried about that.
No, but he's been fucking crazy in the past. Like he goes deep off. Dude,
he had one incident. He had one incident so far. That's it. That's all he's had.
I was depressed, bro. You don't know me.
Last night, he came back pretty fucking sharp on what everybody in the boxing world was considering a test. That's what I hate about the boxing world.
That is not a test.
Sometimes. I hate when they go into fights, this is a test, this is a test, former champ, Then the fight happens like, oh, that dude didn't want it. Oh, that wasn't no test. He wasn't even there to fight. But what happened. And what I seen last night was Ryan Garcia develop into what potentially could be a star in this sport. His hand speed, his power, his look, his demeanor, everything
closing
about
the distance. The way he closed the distance when he threw that left hook, how quickly he covered the ground. How quickly he covered.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that Davis matchup. Not only is Gervonta Davis look smaller than Ryan Garcia.
He is smaller.
He's smaller by over
smaller
5
guys.
fucking inches. 5. He's got smaller arms by 3 inches. Dude, that is why they're calling for this fight. Gervonta Davis will never get on the inside of Ryan Garcia as long as Guzin is in his fucking corner. Guzin getting Ryan was the best thing that could happen for Garcia because that man knows the sport of boxing. He's made legends. He's made Hall of Famers. Last night, Ryan looked 10 times different than what he has before. Not just some left hook with a smile. He's starting to develop the package. You make that kid the package, and you give him a Gervonta Davis victory. He don't need Jake Paul, man. He's a $20 million fighter himself.
I understand. And I realize
the way he covered distance is what I love. The fact the way he was able to get close, the ground that he covered, not just with that fucking lead right hand, but also with that I think there was the left hook that initially dropped Fortuna. The way he leaped in there and landed that shit, that shit was clean. It was so fucking fast the way he covered that ground.
Guys, Fortuna knew in the first round the speed was too much. Yeah. He's getting hit. He thinks he's going low. He gets hit high, and he looks at him like, what the fuck? Who just hit me?
As much as I want to shit on King Riot, on all his dude's got fast hands. He is totally cut for a Goosen. If Goosen can show him all the spots to hit and give him just a little level of defense, nobody's going to beat his ass. Nobody's going to catch him. Those hands are too fast, Andrew.
Hands. There's guys out there that can match. They're going to be great fights, and I think that's why they go to 140. Look, you got to remember the kid's only 23. Moving him to 140 might just be because he's 5'10" and 135 pounds. Usually doesn't work out. So you move him up to 140. All of those other young Stevenson, Haney, Cambosos, Telefimo, Lopez. Lopez has already talked about going to 140. He's a small ass lightweight. Yeah. Let his ass come to 140. Ryan to fucking take him out. That's what Guzin said. Guzin said, we're going to put 5 pounds on you. You're going to go up there. You're going to face guys like Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, fucking these Cepeda. These guys, they're not as fast as you. They might not even be better boxers than you. We don't even know the potential of boxing skill Ryan has yet. So Guzin said, we're moving you there. We're going to take that division out. What is the guy that Catskill or whatever just went to the rounds with? Catterall just went rounds with Taylor. He doesn't have the speed of Ryan Garcia. So you see Guzin looking at all of this. Then he looks at the age and the size of all the guys that are going to be moving up for 135. This is a brilliant, brilliant move for Ryan Garcia to go now, get settled at 140, get built up.
That hot take brought to you by Clambuterol. Oh, dude, you were so deep ass up. Your head is up his ass. Hey, he hasn't fought anybody. He hasn't fought anybody. I agreed with your first hot take.
One thing I love about boxing is that our future is always bright. This ball never stops fucking rolling. I don't care what division you're in. And Ryan Garcia matched up against Josh Taylor, matched up against Gervonta Davis.
Oh, no, I would love to see him against Josh Taylor. I want to see what happens when the kid gets hit in the face hard.
That's it. That's the key.
I'm totally about that. But your first take was the correct take. And this hot take about Andrew's first hot take about being a prospect is brought to you by Clan Buterol. No, it's true though. He's a prospect.
He's a prospect for the future of the sport.
And there are people right now getting ready to write us emails and slam us on social media and tell us we're full of shit. And Javier Fortuna is the real deal. Let me explain. Andrew, how old is Junior right now?
Javier Fortuna's a southpaw. That's hard. He's a former champ. He's coming in off of the lowest point of his life, not only with the mental thing that he was having, but also that he went 12 rounds. Everyone's questioning Guzin. Everyone's questioning Canelo. Oh, Reynoso and Canelo hate you. What are your feelings? Oh, Ryan, they hate you. What are your feelings? Fuck those guys. You know what?
Reynoso, could you imagine if he went that route? I would actually be into Ryan. He's like, fuck them.
Yeah,
they suck.
He loses.
I found
Joshua.
I'm going to be a world champion. I'm going to be an undisputed world champion.
He loses Andy Ruiz and he loses Ryan Garcia. Like right now, all Reynoso could put his hat on is Canelo. And oh yeah, I forgot.
I don't know. I think Canelo trains himself. We've actually done that joke too many times. But I think King Rai, literally, of all the selections, Miguel, like literally of all the selections of all the trainers, you wound up with Goosen? Like, I didn't even know he'd be willing to work with Oscar.
I questioned it. I legitimately questioned it myself. And to
it's
touch
a hard
on
camp, man. That dude is legit on the way he trains people.
To touch on Reynoso's real quick, it's not looking good. Besides the fact that everybody is like leaving, we have the two guys, Valdez and Canelo, coming off of losses right now. So their shit is not looking very good. So I don't blame Garcia for leaving. I don't blame for him going with Goosen. I legitimately did question Goosen. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you go to Goosen? It's like, dude. I mean, we know who Goosen is. It's not like he's not unproven or by any stretch of the imagination. He's very much proven, but it just didn't seem like it would be the team that they are. And after that first fight with I forgot what the guy's opponent, Togbe, I think his name is, that Garcia fought.
Togbe.
Who his first fight with Goosen, I was like, what the fuck? He went 12 rounds with this guy that he should have finished it. I immediately questioned. I questioned it right off the bat when he was going to go to Goosen, and then I saw that first fight, and I was like, this is such a terrible fucking team. And then last night, I was like, oh, wait a second. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. Let's see where this progresses. And seeing how good Ryan looked last night, yes, it's a guy who he was bigger. I get it. But he did what he needed to do. He looked great, and he fucking mopped the floor with Fortuna. And it was with Goosen in his corner. I was pretty impressed.
Hey, and Miguel, Gervonta's going to look 10 times smaller. He's 5 inches bigger than him.
But it's a name on the record. It's a scalp on the record.
I hear you, but the hate won't stop because as soon as
still be a prospect at that point in my mind. When you fight guys that are in the weight class literally 2 below you that are coming up or 1 or 2 weight classes to take the money fight because it makes sense. How many times have we seen it? Like I've watched it happen historically. PBC is the master of this. We're going to take the guy in weight division 2 down, but he wants a shot at the title 2 weights division up. Yeah, sure, we'll make that fight. All day.
They did it with Juan Manuel Marquez Mayweather.
Yeah.
He was Pacquiao's rival. Fuck it. We'll take him to welterweight. Then when they get to welterweight, they miss weight. They end up at junior middleweight for that fight. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They did it with that one. Hey, listen. What was I going to tell you? Oh, I forgot. Gosh darn it. I forgot.
Well, that brings us to our newest game show that we're going to close out with today before we do all the add shit at the end like we always do. This is our newest game show, The Future I Would Like to See. Everybody play along. Canelo fights Triple G and loses. Ooh. Canelo then fights Bivol because that somehow magically got made by Hearns and he already had the contract with Bivol. And he loses again. He fires Reynoso and goes and trains with Goosen. And his first press release is, yeah, I probably should have listened to King Rai. He was right. Reynoso was full of shit. How perfect would that be, Miguel?
Highly unlikely.
Oh, no, shit's not going to happen. He'll retire if he loses twice. You're not going to... That shit's not going to happen. But how great would it be for boxing? Like, would we not eat that up like it was a fucking bowl full of spaghetti?
I mean, in the short term, we would, but I mean, in the long term, I'm not sure if that'll be that perfect for us. We want to see these guys back in the ring a lot longer, and if in the short term, if that's what we get with a shitty long term plan.
I think he'd fire Reynoso if he lost to Triple G. I think he'd look.
I don't think you. I mean,
you think he still wants yes men? Oh, I'll train myself. Actually, that's probably the truth.
Oh,
I'll just train myself. I'm already doing it. Why am I paying you money?
Possibly, yeah.
I like where the sport has been going this last year. We've had some great matchups, even with the PBC. It seems like they're starting to get their shit together, and they realize the fans aren't going to watch just because you put it on for free. You got to make the guys fight each other. They want to see competitive bouts, and the PBC's been doing it now. It looks like they're starting to reach over tables, trying to get other matchups, especially with Eddie Hearn, Spence Crawford, 2-yard line. Triple G, Canelo already signed.
Oh my God.
Ramirez versus
wins that
Bivol.
fight, they're gonna fuck everything up in that division. Like everything goes out of whack if Canelo loses that fight.
Jermell Charlo, finally undisputed.
Wow.
Looks like the real deal at junior middleweight.
And
waiting
really
for his big
legit.
shot.
Like I'm a convert, dude. You came big. You
and
came
just
big in
for
that fight.
Jamel, and just for Jamel, this whole thing about attaching the two brothers like they both accomplished something we
not
cannot
both of
do.
them.
We cannot do.
Otherwise, change both of your names to A. Charlo, as we have kindly pointed out on this show repeatedly. If you're going to be one person fighting in multiple weight divisions, and you're going to be twins, first name A. Dot. You can legally do this. I've looked into it. Charlo. You don't have to change the last name. You're just changing your first name to A.
Better be versus
How great
B.
would that be? Boy, that's another future perfect situation.
Better be versus Bivol might be the hottest fight for all boxing diehards. I mean, come on, we're in a real good place right now.
Andrew, you didn't answer the question.
What?
If Canelo went to Goosen after a loss or two, how crack cocaine-ish would it be for Fight Net Radio?
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. That'd be bad for Garcia.
First words out of Canelo's mouth. You got to stop with the fucking clenbuterol.
Like, knock that shit off already. We know what you're doing. Knock that shit off.
Knock it off. The skinny fat thing in the last fight, like if you're going to cycle like all the other fighters, just do it right. Don't be an asshole about it.
And the vegan.
No,
No.
look.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to say it because
we're
I've been
putting in
told by
credentials for it. If
boxers
we get
and
we get in,
fighters
I'm asking
for
that question.
years. Everybody is juicing, except the people. The only people who get caught are lazy people who don't know how to do it correctly. Like, let me tell you how hard you have to try. Like, in the case of Big Baby Miller, dude, 3 drugs you got caught with in your system. I don't know what they're putting in me. That's hilarious to me. You think Ryan Garcia looks like that naturally? Shit, no. They're testing his blood and they're making him a perfect human. And if you don't think he's not, hey, King Rye fans, let me help you out.
Wait, you mean Vander Holyfield and Roy Jones really didn't look like that naturally? Are you fucking seriously?
Neither did Mark McGuire and neither did Sammy Sosa. No, fuck no. Look, you do one cycle at the beginning of your camp, get your shit dialed in, train it out to the end, cut your weight, go fucking win and collect your paycheck. Like, only morons get caught on the juice.
Andre Ward literally went out and got the Balco guy. What was his name? Victor Conte?
Yeah, Conte,
He's like, fuck it. He's just going to be my supplement dude. Hey, what's up, everyone? This guy. He's my guy. Yeah.
I forget
that's
who
like
it was.
bringing a drug dealer, you know what I mean, to a party. Like, what? Are you serious right now? Conte is your fucking supplier of supplements.
Yeah. It's like, no, he's legit now. He's totally gone straight. He's gone straight.
Yeah.
That segment was brought to you by Clenbuterol.
I love Ward, though. I know it was all clean, bro, but it was just a little fishy when it first started.
Sure. Go to boxingtonight.io. There you can find links to.
Hey, whatchamacall was like, he's been undefeated since he was 14, right? That's me.
Brought to you by Clenbuterol. When are we going to cycle the kid, Andrew? Like, let's start him on a cycle.
I just diminished everything Ward accomplished since he was 14.
SOG. You took down the SOG. Andrew, when can we start your son? I mean, I've got enough stuff. We can start him on a cycle right now. He's ready.
No, I'm very happy where Junior's at, and he's doing good. I'm just trying not to get the kid bullied in school. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I would like him to fight Javier Fortuna, And then when he wins that match, that would be a shocking upset.
That'll always be his.
Because the reason they're talking, the way some of the media outlets, I was looking at the stories, I'm like, what are you talking about? It would be shocking if I beat Javier Fortuna, not if King Rai beat Javier Fortuna. Like, you guys are on different, but the way people talk about King Rai is just ridiculous. It's just painful to me on some level. Dude hasn't fought anybody. I'll keep saying it. Dude hasn't fought anyone.
That's bullshit. You keep saying that, and that's bullshit. Luke Campbell was a somebody, and Fortuna last night was a somebody. I'm sorry that he passed both of those fights with flying colors.
And in both cases, they were lighter fighters coming up to find him.
Luke Campbell was not a lighter fighter. No, he wasn't.
He was just a crappy fighter.
Ah, will you stop? Will you stop? He had went 12 rounds with Lomachenko, dude. Come on, man. You're knocking the kid for nothing.
Have I not made it clear my feelings on Lomachenko that he's nothing but hype and fast hands? Like, okay. Let's not start the debate. We've been at this for a couple of hours now. Everybody take a deep breath. I think I've said enough things here that we're all unhappy. The only question is, are we going with Reynoso go smell Canelo shit?
Actually, Lee, I got to be honest. If Junior did decide to go professional, Victor Conte would be the first man I called.
Hell yeah! Actually, do it the correct way first, right? For the amateurs, you go out to Vegas, and the guy's really literally called the blood doctor. He's the guy who does it right, like where they test the blood and find out. A lot of UFC people use him. He's very famous in Vegas, and he tests the blood, and he regains vitamins and everything that your body's lacking, so you're at peak performance. It's done legally and ethically, and it's done the correct way. Now, when we're hunting the top 10, Andrew, fuck yeah. Conti, hot dial. Boop, 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 boop.
I need that milkshake. What milkshake are we supposed to take at noon and which one at 3? I forgot.
Right. Just send over it comes like, what are those, Hello Fresh or whatever those things? Like, it's a box that just shows up at the front door and they're labeled for each day of the week.
The Jenny Craig diet.
Tell Junior I'll cycle with him. It won't be that bad. It's a little sketchy. I'm not going to lie. It's a little sketchy. You are a little jittery.
That's awesome.
That segment was brought to you by Clenbuterol. Go to boxingtonight.io. You can find videos. You can follow us on social media. You can do all kinds of things. You can follow at FightFiendMiggs on both Instagram and the YouTubes. And I just launched my own vlog, which is where I'm putting up almost all the content I can dig up on any given day of anything we've ever shot. You guys will be appreciative of the Fight Net Radio folder and the Get to Know Your Fight person. I think that's what we wound up calling it. Like, what a shitty title. I realized that once I was starting to put video, that doesn't flow off the tongue. That's just not good. You can find all that. Mostly we're on Facebook almost every single day of the week. You can catch all three of us there. You can send us messages and let us know. Please share, like, subscribe, do whatever the hell it is that you do. But I am not going to say BFF or the word smash because I'm too old. Got it? We do appreciate you on behalf of Andrew, Miguel, and myself. We really do appreciate all you fans and sticking with us and enjoying our content.